Good morning and welcome, victims of daylight savings time. Ugh, a pointlessly unnecessary thing. Bleh. It is 9:10 in the morning. It is the 6th day of November 2023. I am joined by Steve the cat, who is just staring at the sunbeam on the floor because he's a cat and that's what they do. It's Monday, which means it's time to set our course, chart our path, get out our tee-hee Sextant and take a look at the stars, because it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game news and nonsense that's going to shape this week and what little time left we have for 2023. What a year. What a weird year, especially in regards to Wizards of the Coast and just the hobby eating itself in general. It's not been a good year. No, not for tabletop role-playing game. No. Okay, so we got a couple stories to take a look at. We're going to try and go through these as quickly as possible and then address the ones that need specific addressing in separate videos. So, okay, our first story of the day is, hey, independent and OSR games are continuing to kick ass in the crowdfunding Kickstarter club, several of them making it into the $1 million clubs. Number one, Monte Cook Games. Number two, Free League. Number three, Magpie Games. Number 6, Kobold Press. Number 7, Matt Colville this year. You can see all these, pretty much with the exception of 1, 2, most of these are third-party independent OSR, OGL type games who are making $1 million or more. Now, we can't compare this to how much money Wizards is making in products because Wizards doesn't kickstart their stuff. Test our stuff to see if people actually are interested in it or not. No, we're just going to throw it out there and then a week later give up on it. Hey, remember all that talking we were doing about Planescape? No, we're done talking about that. Hey, remember all that talking we were doing about how amazing the new deck of many things? But yeah, nope, we're done talking about that. What are we talking about now? The product we didn't actually make. Oh, Wizards, your short-term memory is always an interesting topic. Okay, so yes, we're kicking ass in the Kickstarter crowdfunding rules. So anybody who's still spreading the rumor that the OSR and the indie games are not making any money, well, that's wrong. Okay. Looks like Vault of the Splintered Souls has just been released. It is a mega dungeon for 5e and advanced level up 5e from EN World. It is a huge mega dungeon. Mega dungeons hold a weird space in my heart. I mean, part of me loves them, and part of me is like, that's totally pointless. I mean, you really need more than 5 rooms. Like, you love a mega dungeon until you go through one, and then you're like, oh my god, this is such a slog. The next biggest story, of course, is this. Change of Amadeus, released by Arcanum Worlds. Officially, this is a level 5e product by Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast does have their hands in it, even though it was released independently through DM's Guild. This is a unofficial surprise 5e product from Wizards that came out and is being heralded as the best thing Wizards has done this year. Technically, that they've done, even though they didn't really do it, but they did have something to do with it. But yeah, so for official 5e canon, whatever that even means anymore, product from Wizards, this is being considered the best one this year. So this is the best thing they've made this year, and they didn't really make it. This people made it. The Deck of Many Things nonsense continues. Mackenzie, of course, continuing to open her mouth and insert her foot in it. Connie Chang opening her mouth and inserting her foot in it. The whole, I'm the merch, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, the printing mistakes. The physical copy is delayed. If you pre-ordered the digital copy, you should have it by now. We've got some more notes and information about how the Pathfinder organized play is going to deal with the drastic changes to Pathfinder coming up. in regards to switching over from Pathfinder 2nd Edition to Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remastered, and switching over from Starfinder to Starfinder Remastered, and then, of course, soon after, switching over from Starfinder Remaster to Starfinder 2nd Edition. How is that going to affect organized play? And it shouldn't. If you're a Pathfinder League, Starfinder League player, the transition will be slow but gentle. Unlike, Wizards of the Coast, who just shoves the transition down your throat. There won't be any big mega storyline through organized play to explain any of the changes. That is apparently being covered with their Wrath of the Immortal storyline for 2024 to explain changes to Pathfinder. Anyways, I don't know how they're going to explain changes between Starfinder to Starfinder Remastered to Starfinder 2nd Edition. With Starfinder 2nd Edition coming out, probably not the best time to invest in Starfinder Remastered, right? So I don't know if they're just going to skip from Starfinder Remastered right to Starfinder 2 and have the Starfinder League actually be doing the playtests, which would make sense. Or if they're going to do Starfinder to Starfinder Remastered to Starfinder 2 transition. But it does read like if you are a Pathfinder Starfinder organized play person, you shouldn't worry too much. Whatever current Pathfinder 2nd Edition storylines are going to finish before they start any of the Pathfinder Remastered storylines, any of the current Starfinder Adventure League storylines will finish before they start releasing anything for Starfinder Remastered. And then, of course, or they may skip Starfinder Remastered and just go from Starfinder straight to Starfinder 2 and let the Adventurers League be part of the playtest again, which would make the most sense. But I don't know. Money-wise, that seems to be a better choice than, oh, you can't play this one because you're playing this one. Oh, you can't play that one because we just came out with a 2nd edition, so ignore everything that we just put it in Starfinder Remaster. So yeah. So if, again, you should be okay. And another big story, which may or may not be a big story, is, of course, the announcement of an official Diablo role-playing game. Now, some of you might be going, this is not the first Diablo role-playing game. There was one before. Yes, several years ago, there was an Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 3-part Diablo conversion, which had Diablo 2 themed characters, Diablo 2 themed monsters, Diablo 2 themed adventure, and the amazingly bizarre Diablo 2 themed treasure generator, which was at the time probably the best take on transferring the bizarre world of Diablo 2 treasure drops and then trying to make it work through AD&D mechanics. And it was a very complicated table of rarity, prefixes, suffixes, and then whatever you call the thing in the middle. So you would roll device. In my example, which I already went through, which one of the ones I remember from when we were using it way back when was a crossbow. And then you'd roll rarity, and something about the rarity would add bonuses. And then you'd roll the prefix and the suffix. And then there was something in the middle. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember there was 3 tables. So like the prefix was flaming. And the middle was something else. And then the suffix was of the lion. I definitely remember of the lion because I remember the guy describing it as the crossbow. The front of the crossbow was an open lion mouth, and the bolts came out of the open lion mouth. So I remember it had of the lion in it. I don't remember the other 2. I just remember something of the lion, and that it was a crossbow. So, but yeah, that's an example of how it would work. And that's what we think the new treasure tables for the Diablo RPG are probably gonna also kind of be the same. Is definitely going to be based on the Diablo 4 settings. So I don't know if we'll actually have Diablo or Deckard Cain. I haven't finished playing through Diablo 4, so I don't know if our favorite characters show up or not. So that's about it for news. Apparently we get now moving on to some of the weird articles that have appeared this week. The softening of D&D. Again, that's come up. You know how D&D has become soft as opposed to the OSR, which is all hardcore. You know, if you want to play dark, grim, I don't know. You know my feelings about that and how we're still angry at 5e. We're not angry at Wizards of the Coast. We're angry at 5e. Oh, 5e, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to support 5e, third, blah, blah, blah. That's another one. Apparently there's not enough dragons in the game. There's a lack of the whatever tabletop community it developed during January is gone. That's another story that is floating around. Apparently another gaming company has decided to embrace the Kyle Brink philosophy of white people should not be in the hobby anymore. We'll address that one along with the softening of D&D one. That's about it. Yeah. So strangely enough, Wizards of the Coast has made it through an entire week without doing anything too stupid, other than letting Mackenzie talk. Weird how right after the article came out about Mackenzie and the conically autistic first ever character, Wizards started going, deck of many things? What's that? We were already talking about our next product. Hey, look at this thing we made with demons. Now, somebody reminded me, because I said in my article, I said, man, Wizards really needs to hire somebody whose job it is to stop these people before their stuff gets to press, a handler, a media mogul, a press secretary. And the guy was like, oh, actually they did. Don't you remember? And I was like, oh, wait, yeah, they did. Well, that person really needs to start doing their jobs, guys. It's not that hard to take the words that are coming out of Kyle's mouth and Mackenzie's mouth and these other people's mouths and run them through a filter to make them presentable. Because let's face it, in regards to our friend Miss Mackenzie and the deck of many things, all she had to do was change one word and the perception of the product would be completely different and the perception of her would be completely different. And that one word went from the to a. All she would have to have done is basically change one word. I created the deck of many things. That got, hundreds, even 5e players are going, fuck you. No, you didn't. That's been around since 1975. It's in the 5e Dungeon Master's Guide. There are articles about it that predate you even working for Wizards of the Coast, Mackenzie. So you can say my character canonically created the deck of many things, but no, you did not. But had she said instead, my character canonically helped in the creation of a deck of many things, the one that is specific to this book, because the deck of many things is not a singular item, guys. It's not an artifact. It's not listed in the artifact section. It's listed in the random weird magic items section. So you could have more than one deck of many things floating around. And there are multiple iterations of the deck of many things which draw different things. Some deck of many things only use the face cards. Some deck of many things use all cards. Some deck of many things are less chaotic. Some are more. And Wizards has released articles on the deck of many things that predate this book. So in the weird math that is Jeremy Crawford, there are canonically official deck of many things that predate Mackenzie's statement and the deck of many things book. So all Mackenzie had to do, my friend, is say, my character Arista helped create the deck of many thing that appears in this book, or I helped create one of the deck of many things. And people would be like, that's great, cool. New deck of many things, and you figured out a way to make your character was part of the creation. I love seeing it stories where characters create iconic magic items, and then those iconic magic items show up. Like, who the fuck made Wave Whelm and Black and Black Razor? We don't know, but they're iconic. So you made a deck of many things, and that's the deck of many things that's appearing in this book. But there are others, and if she just said that, 90% of the hate she's getting probably would have gone away. I mean, there's still hate for her that has nothing to do with that statement. There's her other statements. But the whole I created the deck of many things hate, that would be gone. Because, no, you canonically did not create the deck of many things. You created a deck of many things. And the deck of many things in the book is completely different than the deck of many things in the Dungeon Master's Guide. So they are two separate entities. And I know for a fact the deck of many things predates you working for Wizards of the Coast, because Critical Role Grog has a deck of many things. And he's had it since campaign 1. So, yeah. there's other things. We've got, of course, the whole softening of D&D and Studio Ghibli D&D. We've got a new company trying to be all white people shouldn't play D&D. Those are separate stories we'll get into because I've already wasted 50 minutes of your time, but that is the general news. So, of course, the things we're going to be looking at to shape this week is probably, once again, we're going to be spinning the wheel, and it's going to be racism or alternative racism in D&D, safety in D&D, and then, I guess, holidays. If there's any news story you're interested in, let me know, and we'll get in deeper into it. Finally, in closing, I have maybe some information on the mystery of the book I received. As you know, on Saturday, I received a copy of Castle Zaggy from Troll Lord Games, which I didn't order, and there was no explanation in the letter, in the box, as to why I got it. In fact, the box contained the book, 4 pieces of cardboard, a random piece of paper, and 1 packing peanut. 1 packing peanut. That's just weird. The random blank piece of paper, just weird. 4 pieces of cardboard. Okay, I get that were used to hold the book in place, but 1 packing peanut? But there was no invoice. There was no letter. If I received an email regarding it, it must have gone straight to my trash or my spam because I never saw it. But somebody said, oh no, don't you remember Troll Lord Games said they were going to gift you that? And I was like, no, I don't remember them saying that. But thank you, Troll Lord Games. If you did send it to me as a game, as a gift, I greatly appreciate it. I cherish the idea. If you sent it to me by mistake, that's cool. I mean, that's not the first time I've gotten things sent to me by mistake that I wasn't supposed to get. So I will gladly send it back if it was a mistake. So yeah, but either way, what an amazing surprise for it to show up. Will I ever have a chance to use it? I don't know, doubtful, but it's sitting on my shelf and it looks cool. And it's probably the closest I will ever get to Gygax inspired Greyhawk. So thank you, Troll Lord Games, if that's what happened. Either way, thank you. That's it for today. Now we got to move on to the weird stories, but that requires me doing some reading. So I'll be back sometime later today with that. Till then, stay safe, stay awake. I know we're all still recovering from Black Friday. Remember when we voted to make Black Friday no longer a thing? Unanimously across the United States, both liberals and conservatives are like, I do not see any advantage to this stupid time travel anymore. Please make it go away. And the government was like, yes, you have voted. We will make daylight savings times go away. Right when the next one happens, that's the last one. Well, it's still happening, guys. So get on that. Get on that, please. Till next time, stay safe.